Hey Prakash, my name is Christopher Roberts. I am the founder of Impact Era. Impact Era is a passion project of mine. I'm currently 31 years old, 32 in October, on the October 5th, born 1993, okay? I started in business for myself when I was 21 years old, when I had my son, pretty much 12 months after I had my son, who's born in 2015. So yeah, the times are, I can't exactly give you the times, but shortly after my son was born, I started in business, and I started a company called CBD Group, CBD Civil originally, and it started out as a labor supply company, and I quite quickly built that to a multi-million-dollar supply agency. Today we work for Sydney Water, Water New South Wales, Transport New South Wales, Ventia, Ward Civil, Abergildy, Fulton Hogan, CPB. We have a lot of good clients. Over 55 employees on this company, and it's completely automated, so every aspect of that business of mine is managed, ran. I've got an operations manager. Pretty much my only involvement in that company is overseeing the financials on a weekly basis, okay? It's been like that for a couple years, so I've had a lot of freedom. During the last 4 or 5 years, I've been seriously crippled by a back injury, which it was an L4, L5 disc protrusion. So I couldn't walk for a good part of the last 2.5 years. 3 years before that, I could walk, but walking was extremely painful. I had a back surgery which didn't work July last year. Yeah, so I've had a lot of battles with pain. It was only in March this year I found a life-changing program that made an incredible impact on me, and allowed me to get back into my passion, which is Impact Era, okay? So prior to Impact Era, prior to my back injury, which was in 2019, I actually started developing a company called MBSU Global. Okay, MBSU Global was essentially encapsulator, and it was exactly doing what you guys are doing. So it was finding coaches, being a marketplace for really talented, special people, and making an arbitrage margin between the student and the coach. So unfortunately, because of my back injury, I stopped developing that, and you know, pretty much what I did during the time of my injury was I started building a private equity company. So there's a bit of a story in there, but I had a mentor who I paid really good money to teach me new aspects of business. Mainly I wanted his network, and also he had a company that went under. He owed me money, and I was just stupid. I was trying to help him out, essentially, okay? And that mentorship taught me something accidentally. So what he did was, he seen my business, he had a look inside it, he seen the revenue, he seen the automation, and he pretty much said, look, Chris, I want to come in, you pay me a salary of $100,000, I'm going to come in for 12 months, I'm going to grow it in exchange for equity, okay? And I had the shit, so I was like, man, like, I was just trying to help you out, really, you know, like, I didn't need his mentoring. I was already doing extremely well. Pissed me off, and I pretty much just said, nah, you know, like, I'm happy with what I'm doing. We still talk today. This guy, he actually wants me to mentor him now, because what I ended up doing was I realized I could create business people. So then I went out there and I started, you know, finding tradespeople that were working jobs, and I would say, all right, let's start a business together. I'm going to give you the systems, procedures, mentoring. I'm going to inject capital. A lot of the times I would be able to navigate without needing to inject capital, because trade businesses, you know, you get paid early. You're not dealing with, you know, big businesses, so you don't have to wait your 30 days and a month to get paid. So I built a really good, solid, you know, portfolio in that private equity company. I've actually got a couple of private equity companies now with different partners who I have taught how to go and grow the private equity company. So in terms of financials, I'm doing very well. I met Danny over a year ago now, and I fell in love with how he pivoted from being a drug addict to never coming close to relapsing again. And that really attracted me in. And the question, you know, very powerful question, is why he pivoted. So that's what started the relationship between Danny and I. I initially wanted to invest into Encapsulator, and the first question any investor asks any software startup business is, all right, where are we getting our revenue from? Okay. And I see an incredible product with Encapsulator, incredible. But look, if I was the CEO of Encapsulator, I would say, let's stop putting money into development, and let's start putting money into generation of revenue. And that's where you're going to start covering your overheads. And I understand that you're in a bit of a like a small hole financially. $70,000 to you might seem like a lot, but like to me it's actually not. Okay. But Danny was asking for $100,000, and I essentially knew, without the proper system, without a roadmap onto where we focus our time, our revenue, our $100,000 isn't going to generate revenue, because we're putting it into development. So we've got to completely stop putting money into development at this stage. I don't want you losing any more money, and you're going to get your money back if we all get on the same page and we start putting our efforts into generating revenue. Okay, so why am I interested in Encapsulator? So Impact Era is a passion project, and it's got a very, very big vision. And it's not just a vision, it's happening. I've built infrastructure around its success for the last year and a half. So Danny's involved quite heavily, and to be honest, if we removed Encapsulator from the conversation, I would still be involved with Danny, because Danny's got a good heart, and I trust Danny, and that's the type of people I want to be working with. Okay. You know, I was working with Danny even though at the time he had no Facebook page. It was gone. So it wasn't the network that I wanted to work with Danny for. It was the drive, it was the ambition. Danny also wants to be famous, which is good for me, because I want absolutely no public, public recognition. I'm already quite wealthy. I'm not doing this for money. You just can't lose money. You start losing money and money leaves. You lose a little bit, you lose it all. Like, you just cannot lose money. So I'm very, very, very cautious on not wanting to lose money. Every single dollar I spend, I need to have a mapped out ROI, return on investment. So at this very point in time, I can't put money into Encapsulator because I don't have an ROI value. Okay, we can create an ROI value. As an investor doesn't invest money into finding out what the ROI is. That should have already been done. Okay, so the last $50,000 that went into Encapsulator should have been to build funnels, campaigns, building a bit of PR, like attracting people, hiring a sales rep to go out there and network with coaches and create joint ventures and stuff like that. So Impact Era is essentially doing joint ventures with well-established coaches, consultants, and professionals at this stage, purely to help out Encapsulator with revenue. So ultimately, I would like to be focusing on running campaigns to create my own influencers, coaches, and mentors right now. But in order to help out Danny, which helps out yourself, my focus is getting a few well-known coaches to do joint ventures with Impact Era and Encapsulator at this stage, which is going to attract more coaches. So I understand you've got very strict confidentiality agreements in place. I understand that, I respect that. So I wanted to send this video just to so you could meet me. There's a few different models of revenue that I've got in mind, but the current ones aren't seeming to work because there needs to be a branding strategy in place and a marketing strategy in place. For example, one of the coaches, Hope Richards, just created a course. No launch campaign, no pre-market launch campaign, no post-launch campaign. There should be like regular, posts about the course and how it's helped people. There should be little resource giveaways in relation to the course, which attracts people to the course. I've got all that infrastructure, okay? And so that is pretty much where I'm at right now. Impact Era is also going to be running events, retreats. I've got a very, very, very renowned book publisher working with me. He's a partner in Impact Era. I've got one of the best branding executives in the world working with me as a partner in Impact Era. It's a very, very good collaboration for you guys right now, for us to be sort of in cahoots with each other. I understand the monetary stress you might be having, but we need to take a step back. We need to stop investing money into things that aren't going to yield a return on investment, and let's get this let's get Encapsulator covering its overheads, paying you back, making Danny's wage. Once Danny's no longer needing to work a job, imagine how much more time, effort, and energy he can put into marketing and stuff. I'm involved, and I want to see the success of Encapsulator. And the success of Encapsulator is essential to me. I need it. Anyway, so nice to sort of meet you, but thank you for your time.